individually, the largest projects, and here's where you get that huge inventory of mineral resources and oil reserves from the Chinese deposit. It's really held in one project there. So that zinc contained in reserves and resources is from one project in China. And then you go down and you can see there, even the biggest deposits outside the Chinese project, they could only supply 1 or 2 years of world production from their mineral resource and oil reserves. So it's a pretty interesting comment in terms of supply demand.
Hi, this is Rob Cheshire, AMC Brisbane. Mark, the resources you mentioned, that's a big number. Can you make some comment on the grade of those resources? I mean, are these mines just backed up, waiting to go? Or?
Much of the resources is just that one deposit in China. And it's just a huge deposit of zinc in China. And I don't think the grades in that are particularly fantastic, but I think they're still quite respectable. So as that deposit converts its resources into reserves, then that will be a steady flow of additional reserves that feed into the system. But that was the one single deposit. If you took that deposit out of the equation, then there's nowhere near as big a discrepancy between the resources and the mineral resources that seemed to be from that diagram.
That's an interesting situation then. Yeah.
Well, in terms of one of the things that we wanted to talk about was some of if people are considering investing in the zinc industry, that some of the opportunities and the risks, and that is clearly perceived to be a fantastic opportunity in the short term, is the mines closing, the continued demand requirement, uncertainty about when these new mines are going to open to replace the closing mines. So there's a lot of uncertainty, which potentially makes it a little bit more resilient.
Well, when you talk about numbers from China, we have a bit of experience with that here in Singapore. Are you certain those numbers are correct?
Well,
these aren't AMC numbers, by any chance,
according to the United States Geological Survey, they're correct. So that's where I got my numbers from.
There's another, recently, what China, these 2 years, has increased the output tremendously. Was that because of the global output has been reduced and China is topping up? Or, I mean, it's very obvious that China is topping up the quantity. You can see from the chart there. And what is your opinion on that? And were all these forecasts or the inventories at with the State Bureau, one of the big institutions, where those numbers were just, obviously you got it from the two forecaster, but how accurate is those numbers actually? Because those actually makes a lot of difference from what we see now.
Well, again, I can only say that the accuracy is based on the information that's been provided in those documents. So the level of stocks, for example, whether at London Metals Exchange or Shanghai or the Chinese state reserves, they are what they are being reported, and so I can't tell you if they're accurate or not. So we have to take that at face value.